Here we are, 6 a.m. on this Thursday, getting a little closer to that weekend. Hope your morning's been off to a great start so far. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Yeah, hopefully it's been a decent week for you. I know the AC's probably been used a few times here.
I've had it on consistently.
Yeah.
I've had to kind of pick and choose the times where I'm turning it off, just giving it a break. But boy, it has been warm each and every afternoon, trending about 5 degrees above average. In some spots, we've been closer to 2 degrees above average, but we are on a broad warming trend all the way through the beginning and middle of next week. This afternoon, upper 70s and low 80s out by the coast, upper 80s, low 90s inland, partly cloudy skies, meaning we're starting to incorporate a bit more of that cloud cover, and that's going to mean some monsoonal moisture could creep into the forecast by the afternoon. That could mean pop-up showers across the mountains. One extreme heat warning is in effect for our deserts, and that'll stay in effect now through Sunday at 8 p.m. It's been extended. Previously was set to expire on Friday. Just goes to show that the deserts all the way through Imperial County holding on to some pretty warm temperatures. Clouds are helping us out this morning out along the coast. A little bit of a gray start to the morning here. Coming up, we'll be talking more about those warmer temperatures in the mix with a look at the 7-day forecast. Could be getting even hotter as we go into next week. Back to you.
Evan, thank you very much for that. And now this morning, a major update here. We're learning more about the mold issues that have delayed the start of the school year at Delsur Elementary.
Parents packed a meeting last night demanding answers from district leaders. News 8's Tori Apodaca live outside Delsur Elementary with everything we know that happened at that meeting here. Tori.
Hi, good morning. Definitely the start to the school year that no one was expecting. Poway Unified, though, did lay out the plan on what it's going to look like to transition all of the students and staff from here at Delsur Elementary to Stone Ranch Elementary, although a lot of parents still had a whole lot of questions coming out of that meeting.
Up to an email saying you guys are going to Stone Ranch for approximately a month. How is 900 students going to be added to 700 students? Our classes are already full. How is this going to affect all the children, Delsur students and Stone Ranch students?
And the teachers.
The traffic, the parents, what we have to stop doing, work, adjusting our schedules to get our children there.
So there definitely were quite a few tense points during that meeting, but the district explained that there is enough room for mostly everyone at Stone Ranch, but that 4 Delsur classes will be held at the Boys and Girls Club just down the street. Which classes, the superintendent did not say. Delsur was supposed to start school last week with the rest of Poway Unified, but mold was discovered in the moderate level in multiple classrooms, including the multi-purpose room. Crews have been conducting microbial cleaning throughout the school, cleaning ductwork and using air scrubbers, dehumidifiers, looking for a permanent solution. The meeting's focus last night was on the current issue and relocation, but many families also still have questions about a similar situation at the school back in 2024 and why they say it feels like this could have been prevented. The district tells me that it is still gathering and reviewing information on those 2024 concerns. So what's next for this campus is that they will be starting school at Stone Ranch this coming Monday, August 24th. They're going to be there for about a month through September 18th before Delsur is ready for them on September 21st. Reporting live from Delsur Elementary, Tori Apodaca, News 8.
All right, Tori, thanks for keeping us updated. This morning, evacuation orders and warnings are lifted for the so-called Dehesa 7 fire in East County. The brush fire started around 3:30 p.m. yesterday near Dehesa Road. It burned 93 acres before fire crews stopped the forward rate of spread. It's now 25% contained. No word on what started this fire.
A man accused of starting a fire that burned more than 130 acres over the weekend in Sorrento Valley is pleading not guilty to a felony arson charge. Prosecutors say 30-year-old Brandon Glasgow set a tumbleweed on fire after getting into an argument with a bicyclist on a path Sunday afternoon. They say he told officers he admitted he started the fire and watched the smoke until it got so bad that he had to leave.
Been a huge impact for what seems like a small act, but that's just the danger of these cases and these arson charges, that they have such a great impact once they're started.
The fire burned 138 acres, and it did lead to brief evacuation warnings. Glasgow being held on $75,000 bail. He could face up to 6 years in prison if convicted. As for that fire, the Sorrento fire, it is now 91% contained. And now this morning, the city of San Diego facing pressure to cancel contracts for those automated license plate readers.
Law enforcement calls them vital tools, but there are growing concerns over privacy and misuse. News 8's Chris Groh live in studio here with both sides on this. Chris?
Yeah, good morning, guys. There was an ACL.
Were 60 incidences in 2024 alone. SDPD shared parties and ICE, which betrays our trust as community members and blatantly attacks our human rights.
All right, so that was last night at a public safety committee where there was concern shared about flock information being shared with federal immigration authorities at that meeting. But keep in mind, there are 500 flock cameras around San Diego. San Diego Police Department has cited them as the reason for big breaks in a number of cases. However, there is a growing chorus of criticism, both here and nationally. Critics worry about how the collection of data is shared. There are major privacy concerns and fear of abuse of the cameras. In fact, Flock just had to change some of their own safeguards and rules after dozens of law enforcement officers across the nation were discovered to be using the data for personal use and even in some cases stalking. However, San Diego Police Department has claimed that the cameras have helped locate stolen vehicles, missing persons, and wanted dangerous suspects. Lieutenant Christopher McAndrew oversees the program, and he had this to say about some of the concerns that were raised at last night's meeting about sharing that data with immigration authorities.
OPR system is shut off. Nobody has access to our system outside of San Diego police officers that are trained and authorized to use the system.
Now, Alliance San Diego is going to be holding a rally calling for the end of the use of these flock cameras or these automated license plate readers. That's going on at 11 a.m. That's going to be at the Federal Building downtown. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Chris, for that update. And now Sweetwater Valley plays in the Little League World Series. It's happening today. A big day for them, for all their fans, too. After sweeping the West Region Tournament, the South Bay Sluggers have made it to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Sweetwater Valley set to take on the Midwest champs from Davenport, Iowa. So this game today at 3 p.m., there will be a watch party at 3-in-1 Sports Bar and Grill. That's on Proctor Valley Road. On the international side of the bracket, Tijuana will represent Mexico for the second time in just 4 years. Yeah, our region creating some great baseball, right? They take on Ride. They're flying in from Sydney, Australia. That's this morning at 9 a.m.
Look, I know many of you are excited about this, but also wondering, what does the road to the World Championship look like for Sweetwater? Coach Eric here to break down this 20-team bracket for you. 10 teams on each side, okay? So this is the United States on this side of the bracket. We've got the international teams on this side. A couple of teams have already played in this. These 4 teams had to play last night with the Southeast winning and New England winning, and that's a bit of a controversial thing. All of these brackets are randomized. So some people are arguing these 4 teams had to play an extra game to get over to this side of the bracket where the West begins here today. West taking on the Midwest. They win this game. They play the winner of the Mid-Atlantic Metro game, and then they come into this side of the bracket, play here. Now, keep in mind there is a double elimination in this World Series tournament, which means if you lose one of these games, you come down here into the losers bracket where you unfortunately have to play a lot more games to try to wiggle your way out of that. So the top of the winner bracket, the top of the loser bracket comes here and plays the winner on the international side to become the World Series champion. Now, there is a small chance that Team Mexico, which is right here, that can make its way over here, and Team West from San Diego meet up here in the World Series championship. That would be pretty amazing, wouldn't it? Again, you can watch our West team take on the Midwest team from Davenport, Iowa at 3 p.m. our time.
All right, let's see what's going on with this heat out there, Evan.
Another warm one out there across the county. It has been 6 weeks now that we've been talking about these hot temperatures and no end in sight. It seems like we're going to not only be holding on to temperatures that are above average, as we have since Monday. Monday, we talked about how we were going to kind of sound like a broken record this week, and we have, considering our afternoon highs have looked almost identical day over day. There's no change between now and the upcoming weekend, and then going into early next week, it seems like our temperatures will be right back on a warming trend, meaning that those temperatures will climb even more by next week. Cloud cover is helping us out along the coastline. You can see what satellite radar looks like right now. There are some clouds bunched up along the immediate coastline. We've got a little bit of cloud cover building in across our local deserts. What we're going to watch for this afternoon is a gradual warming trend that will then kick up humidity. Seems like across our mainly East County locations, closer to our mountains and deserts, we could easily see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms into the afternoon. Along the coast and inland, that may come in the form of feeling the humidity out there by the afternoon. Current temperatures out the door are in the 60s and 70s. These are our overnight lows for the most part, considering sunrise is still a few minutes out. 64 in Fallbrook right now, 66 in Escondido, 68 in El Cajon, 70 in San Diego. Like we've said, these tend to not give us much relief in the overnight hours, which means that a lot of people have still been leaving the AC on. Today's high temperatures, about 4 or 5 degrees above average. Borrego Springs should come in about 3 degrees above average. 107 is average for the desert, so getting up to 110, it's hot. And some of those models have been all the way up to about 112. Here's a live look outside. San Miguel facing east. Beautiful sunrise view out there with some passing clouds. And again, that 10-day temperature trend shows, broadly speaking, gradual warm up going into the beginning of next week and middle of next week. You can see how even by next weekend, El Cajon, for example, could be all the way up to 99 degrees. That would put them 8 degrees above average. Let's check in on traffic, 610 right now. First spot we want to take you to is down toward the South Bay. It's closer to the international border. This is on the center divider, accident in San Ysidro on the 805 northbound, right at the 905. Taking you way up to North County, much farther on the map here. Stalled vehicle, on-ramp partially blocked in Rancho Bernardo on the 15 southbound. That's the on-ramp from West Bernardo Drive, where we are running into just very minor delays this morning. Back to you. Oh, let's look at your port of wait times there. San Ysidro Port of Entry, 95-minute wait. Otay Mesa Port of Entry, going to run you about 90 minutes. Back to you.